3. It's 11-8. Isaiah working Sam Vincent. Lobs to Lambier. Baseline fadeaway for Billy. Off the iron to Pippen. Pippen dishes to Jordan. Michael behind the foul line. Up fake. They'll lean in, and the gunner goes. 1-point game just like that. Now we have 6.5 to play in the first. Bill Lambier topside. Off to Dumars on the way. And a pick and roll. Michael through the screen. Now they'll switch. Grant's on him. Joe tries from the top. It doesn't drop. Jordan skies for it. Doesn't hang on, but runs for it. Bullet feed inside to Grant. They look outside and find Cartwright on the wing to find Pippen. Clock at 15. Down the lane. Gets it to Grant. Shot short to Mahorn. Bill Lambier caught one in the chops on that trip. Ricky Mahorn with 5 rebounds. He wants them all tonight. 5:50 to play in the first. Pistons 11, Chicago 10. Isaiah off the pick and roll with a leaning pressure. It's good. Pistons lead 13-10. 5:41 to play in the first. Pippen feeding inside for Cartwright. Fumbled it out of bounds. Timeout here. 5:38 to play in the first. And Chicago Pistons 13, Chicago 10 on the Pistons Basketball Network.
If the Bulls score 120 points or more to win the game.
Pistons fans, here's your chance to get Pistons tickets despite those sellout crowds at the Palace. Call the Pistons now during our simulcast at 377-0100. Get information on ticket availability for next year's exciting Piston season. Priority numbers are now being taken, and salespeople are on duty right now during our simulcast. The phone number again, 377-0100. Act tonight and avoid next year's sellouts. Pistons with it. Isaiah got it from Dumars. Tries it wide of the lane left. No. Rebound comes along to Pippen over Mahorn's hand. They find Michael Jordan right now with it, don't they? Fakes right, comes left inside. Nice reverse off the high glass. Good. With good reason.
The guy makes it look so easy, George, that it almost spoils you sitting here watching him.
Jordan with a quick 6. He has half of the Bulls 12. Pistons by 1. Isaiah looking to lob to Aguirre. Gets it to him mid-post. Gets it back on the way. Clock at 10. Back to Mark. Against Pippen. He'll turn him baseline and Rainbow. No. Rebound Cartwright. The outlet reaches Sam Vincent. Midcourt. Sam gets a screen from Grant. Tries over Isaiah. Wide. Pulls it cold. But Grant rebounds the miss. Leaves it for Jordan. Nice no look inside for Grant for the dunk. Chicago leads it. 14-13. 4:35 to play in the first.
The percentage of both teams have dropped off drastically after the first couple of minutes.
And now Chicago puts a trap on Isaiah. They cross-court to Dumars. They mounted a last-minute comeback with a pretty effective trap late in the game last night. Pistons finally put him away. They had to sweat a little bit. Clock winding down. It's at 2. Isaiah deep left. It's at 1. Throws it up. Foul line. Counts if it goes, and it does. With a shot clock going on.
That's as close as you can get, George.
And then the thing rimmed before it went. 15-14 Pistons. And as Jordan bounces on the wing, Edwards, who is on for Lambier, is called for forearming Cartwright inside. It's going to be a quick first quarter at this rate in terms of team fouls. Pistons 2 and Chicago 1. Pippen from the sideline to Jordan topside. Leaves it there for Grant. In the corner, Pippen. Mid-left to Cartwright, wheeling inside, and he missed the reverse, banged all over Isaiah. Cartwright and Isaiah go at it in front of the Piston bench. I don't believe Cartwright's reaction. Doug Collins is out there, Chuck Daly is out there. It has exploded here. Late in the first quarter, Bill Lambier gets Isaiah out of there, and Mahorn pulls Cartwright away. And now Chuck Daly's taking a deep breath. Ditto for Doug Collins. And the officials will have to sort it out.
I didn't see that one start.
I did.
I couldn't see any part of that, how it could explode that rapidly. I guess we'll be able to reread it on the replay.
Cartwright tried to reverse. Isaiah bothered him. And at least when we saw it live, it looked like Cartwright then mauled him. Cartwright cheap shot at Isaiah earlier with an elbow that he didn't even get a personal foul for. you know, which may or may not be part of the game, but when you don't have a reputation as the bad boys, and you do things like that, you wonder why certain teams get certain reputations and some others don't.
And Isaiah Thomas, they have both been ejected from the game. Football at center court.
Well, Isaiah's been ejected, and so is Cartwright.
That has to happen. Both of them were involved, and they wouldn't give up, and they kept at it. The referees have no choice but to go with an ejection. And here again, we go right back to part of the Piston mystique. And, you know, George, it's one of the reasons we have 3 lead officials here, to try to control it. And it got out of hand so fast. In fact, you even made the statement just before it broke out that this is going to be a quick one because there are no fouls being shot. And I thought both teams are really...
There will be a jump ball at center court since it was a loose ball at the time of the foul.
McGuire and Edwards trying to hold Cartwright away from Isaiah. By that time, Isaiah was into his 4th swing after Cartwright appeared to take him down.
It looked like there had to be something happen previous to this between Isaiah and Cartwright, because that really wasn't enough to set both of them off. That was just an ordinary bump on that particular exchange.
Well, it did, Dick. You didn't do that game. You were doing clinics down under then. Jim Gray was here with me that night. And Cartwright nearly took Isaiah's head off with an elbow that he did not even get a personal foul for. And those things linger and they simmer, and it exploded tonight. Bill Lambier is now the Pistons captain, and he got the explanation from Hugh Hollins, who was the lead official. Chuck Daly and Doug Collins will go without Isaiah and Cartwright, respectively, both ejected for fighting. 3 and 51 to play in the first in Chicago. Now, the tough part about that is if you're the visiting team, a lot of times that will fire up the home crowd and the home team even more.
Well, the Pistons are used to that. You know, they're in one almost every ball game, and you know, it's the point where if there isn't something going on, you're almost disappointed. Maybe not disappointed because it really is not part of basketball, but it's part of their mystique and it's part of their preparation.
They re-jump, double loose ball foul, and then the ejection. And the double technicals that result in the ejection. Corzine for Cartwright in the game. Corzine gets it, guns, and it goes wide of the lane. Chicago 16, the Pistons 15. Joe Dumars joined by Vinnie Johnson now in the backcourt. The bounce goes mid-post to Aguirre. Back to Joe on the sideline. Off to Edwards. Low inside, he's doubled. Then he gets it on the wing clock at 3, and the 3-second call.
And it was a good call because the rebounders thought that there was going to be a shot. There was one extra pass. That always alerts the officials to the 3-second call, and the Pistons win for about 8 or 9 seconds, really.
Here comes Jordan to work against Dumars. Jordan may have to go man-sized minutes tonight. Jordan inside, throws it up and in, but he'll get the offensive foul for using the forearm.
You don't see that call very often in the NBA. When Michael Jordan goes airborne, I thought that he had great position. Dennis Rodman did, but they don't call it very often on Michael Jordan.
Rodman took the charge. He's on from a horn. Clearly an offensive foul. Dumars backing against Vincent. Pocket 10. Joe trying to turn and gun. He is doubled and fouled. Sam Vincent got him.
Detroit, a foul called Sam Vincent.
And we have 2:44 to play in the first. And timeouts called now by the Pistons. A wild start in Chicago. Bulls 16, Pistons 15. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. Charles Davis into the game. Pistons penetrate, and Rodman gets it down deep. And the Pistons lead 17-16. Isaiah Thomas and Bill Cartwright ejected for fighting moments ago. Grant trying to take Rodman inside. Dennis blocks the shot, but got some arm, and he gets the foul.
If I were an offensive player right now, every time I got the ball, George, I'd go to the hole because the referees are really on alert. They've got to call anything that looks like a foul now to keep this thing under control.
Grant at the line. Pistons 17, Chicago 60.
Brad Sellers checks in for Scottie Pippen.
Brad Sellers on for Scottie Pippen. Grant splits the pair. Aguirre boards it for Vinny. Vinny Dumars, Aguirre, Rodman, and James Edwards for the Pistons. Score tied at 17. Aguirre pitching to Edwards. High post fadeaway. No. Dumars with the rebound. Double pump fake, tries to follow. Jordan got a piece of it, and Jordan tries to steal the rebound, but he loses it out of bounds.
Less than 2 minutes left in the ball.
Just under 2 to play in the first. Aguirre from the baseline. Off to Vinny on the wing. BJ steps up. The flat gun goes for Vinny. That's a very good sign because he'll get a lot of minutes tonight.
Yeah, the guards are going to have extra play because of Isaiah. I'm trying to figure out who got the best of that exchange on the ejection.
We'll talk about that later. Dumars stepping up, intercepting a lob in the lane. Pistons lead him by a deuce. They go to Aguirre. Deep right, triple try. No. Off the iron, high to Grant. He and Rodman fight over it. It will be Chicago's ball. Dennis stepped out. John Sally wants to check in. Ditto for Lambier.
John Sally, Bill Lambier for Detroit.
They come on for Aguirre and for Edwards.
I don't think Chuck liked the rhythm of Aguirre's three-point shot. You're in a tough ball game, and you'd like we said earlier, give the chance for the referees to call a foul and work your offense and go to the free throw line.
Sure, especially after the fight. They pointed out they're going to be quick with the whistle inside. Jordan trying to get in. Pitches outside Davis. Now baseline Sellers. Sally blocks the shot. Pulls it down. Hands to Dumars. Great play by John. Watch the 7-footer's jump shot. Easy to do when you're 7 feet yourself.
Yeah, but you'll know what he's going to do. You know that
that's right.
Brad Sellers is going to take a jumper.
Lambier gets that hook pass behind the head from Vinny and drills it from the top. They work that play to a science. Pistons by 4, 21-17. Davis waddle lane against Vinny. Between the rings to Sellers. Foul line extension now. Michael Jordan against Dumars. Fakes right, goes left, out of line. Now hang glides. He seemed to take another flap of the wings and go higher and hit it off the window.
It's not fair, really, to watch this guy fly. He could be the Phoenix.
I swear he can fly. Here's Vinny down the lane, tried the high glass scoop, and it rolled over the top and out of bounds.
And Vinny shot that shot because he thought he was going to get fouled. He probably was fouled. He stayed down for a second or two longer.
Pistons up a deuce. Half a minute to play in the first. Jordan with a pull-up gun, and it's 2 if it's through. Just outside the line, or inside, rather. He missed it to Dumars. Shot clock 14, quarter clock 19 as Dumars pounds it on top against Jordan. Lambier out for the high screen. Double feed to Billy on the wing. 3 on the clock. Fade away with Sellers falling on him is short, but Lambier will shoot a pair with 7 seconds to play in the first.
Brad Sellers will get a lecture when this next timeout happens. You're not supposed to foul a jump shooter. Run into him like that.
Not exactly a hard foul either, was it?
No. In fact, if you follow a little one step further, Bill pulled Brad Sellers down on top of it.
Bill Lambier, 22 boards last night. In the top 10 and rebounding again.
I would say that Michael Jordan will be handling this ball in the next 7 seconds.
I would agree. Billy makes the first. In his last 11, he's averaged 15 a game. He nails the next. Pistons by 4. Final 10 seconds first. Jordan will go coast to coast down the lane. He scoops. He scores with a second to play in the quarter. 23-21. Vinny tries from three-quarter court, gets wide, and at the end of 1, it's the Pistons by 2 in Chicago, 23-21 on the Pistons Basketball Network. Michael Williams in the basketball game, spelling Joe Dumars. The Pistons post Rodman, low left. He gets it over Charles Davis.
Had the 5 spots against his own press and worked it the ball around and got a nice layup.
Pippen has it foul line extended outside now to Davis. Davis in the lane over Vinny with the gun on the run won't go. And Corzine snatches the rebound, but loses it, and the Pistons will play it now with a 4-point lead.
Williams in the ball game at point guard. Michael Jordan is out, and I would imagine Chuck would leave Williams in as long as Jordan's sitting on the bench. Look to see Dumars come back in as soon as Michael appears.
Vincent, Davis, Sellers, and Pippen and Corzine for Chicago. The Bulls 10 for 22. The Pistons 11 for 23 so far. Pistons 25, Chicago 21. Sally on the wing against Sellers. Topside Vinny. He will drive and hook on the run. Missed it badly. Looked like he was hammered. Rebound Rodman. Outside it goes to Williams. First minute, second quarter in Chicago. Pistons by 4. Vinny on the wing with a leaner. It'll be short. Corzine rips it down. Isaiah and Bill Cartwright ejected early for fighting. Pretty good pure 6 ball. Isaiah got 3 good swings. Nearly got a 4th. Cartwright pulled him down to begin with. Corzine missing baseline. And as they scramble for it, Davis and Williams go down, and the Pistons get the basketball.
One thing I've noticed about Williams, he goes for the loose ball. He's really reckless when there's a ball loose on the floor.
Michael Williams and Vinnie Johnson. That's a Baylor backcourt. Played a few years apart down in Waco. Williams from the top. He fires and fills it. He can't shoot it. Pistons by 6, 27-21. Williams against Sam Vincent. Sam looking to take it topside. Williams bothers a bit. Behind the foul line goes to Corzine. The shot pops out to Rodman. Oh, he was right there and had it all.
He's always right there.
We played 2 in the second. The Pistons lead by 6, 27-21. Mike Williams doubled on the way. Vincent and Corzine. And they slap it away. Vincent grabs him from behind so he can't get the ball. And now Corzine and Mike Williams will jump it up as they hit the floor together.
I think Michael could have picked that ball up without it being an infraction because one of the Bulls had already touched the ball in the meantime.
Lost the dribble. No jump ball. Instead, they give it to Chicago, and I don't know why.
Well, they must have called it a violation. They called a jump ball originally, and then they must have changed their mind.
Vincent whirling down the lane, left hands it up and in, and he is fouled. So Chicago takes good advantage. Williams with a foul.
Rick Mahorn back.
Rick Mahorn checks back in for the Pistons.
For Sally.
John Sally comes out. Sam Vincent at the line. Completing the 3-point play. His first 3 tonight. And the Piston lead is 3. 9:33 to play in the first. Williams from the wing. Back topside, Vinny. Deep left Lambeer. Trying for 3. Won't go through. Rebound ripped away by Mahorn. No, back out to Vinny and a fresh 24. 27-24. Pistons leading Chicago in Chicago. DJ, baseline bounce to Williams. Shot blocked by Pippen. Pulled down by Charles Davis. Chicago can't rush it up. They'll play half court. Davis looks back and finds Sam Vincent. Vincent to the wing. Shake and bake at the foul line. Extension, and he fires and fills it.
Chicago's playing a good zone defense, trapping when they know that they have a rookie guard out there in Michael Williams.
Nobody said those Vincent brothers couldn't shoot it. Huh, Dick?
No.
Then he gets a bounce from Williams. Heads down the right side. He'll hook on the run. Wide. Rodman rebounds. Got it down off the window. 29-26. Chicago with it. Davis, Corzine, topside. Corzine looking back to Davis. Vinny played the passing lane, stole, but stepped out of bounds. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Pure Amoco Ultimate, the engine cleaning gasoline. Drivers rate the very best. Your car knows. Davis comes out for Chicago. go to Sellers. Jordan and Grant come back. Chuck Daly gets John Long in the game for Vinny with Michael Williams. And this could be a night when the acquisition of John Long pays some big dividends. A veteran, big enough to play you defensively, and we know that he can shoot the rock.
Well, he'll have his hands full. He's going after Michael. Here comes Joe Dumars.
Michael Jordan against John. Going baseline. Looked like he carried it. Looked like John put the hand check on him. Neither call. Vincent gets it foul line and misses the gun, but he kicked out trying to draw the Williams foul. Jim Capers caught him. That's an offensive foul. Great trick if you can get away with it.
That's a Vincent trick. Jay used to do that continually. Every time he took a jump shot, he would throw one of his legs out to the side and try to hook that defensive guy as he flew by you. Then always flop to the floor.
Wonder if Paul Crook taught them that at Lansing Eastern. Maybe Judd Heathcote at Michigan State. Dumars and Lambier want to pick and roll against Vincent and Corzine. Nice bounce inside to Billy. Blocked, but it's going to be goaltending on Grant. Horace Grant guilty of the goaltend.
The ball had kissed the glass on that, George. In the NBA, you can't touch it.
Bill Lambier with 11 points. 7:45 to play in the half. Pistons 31, Chicago 26. Jordan against Dumars. Here's the gun from outside. Won't go. Rodman almost went to heaven to pull that one down off to Dumars. Did he get up? 7.5 to play in the half. Pick and roll again. Dumars and Lambier. Joe gets double kissed, leans in, dishes to Mahorn. Ricky trying to jam, and he can. Chicago wants time. The Pistons have him down 33-26. 7:15 to play in the half. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. Tomorrow night, the Stanley Cup playoffs continue on TV 50. The Wings and Blackhawks in Game 3. The action at 8 with a live pregame special hosted by Ray Lane. Then Dave Schrader and Mickey Redmond join Ray live from this noisy Chicago Stadium at 8:30. On TV 50, your place for sports. Chicago looking to go inside. Robin with a steal in the lane, but Hugh Holland says he caught Ricky Mahorn for a shove. Or is it Bill Lambier? It's Bill Lambier.
That foul had nothing to do with the play. There'd already been a deflection and an interception, and the Pistons are going down one end of the court.
We've already had a Pier 6 brawl that would do the National Hockey League proud in here tonight. Bill Lambier shoving Corzine that last Chicago offensive set. Jacques Demers, by the way, here at the stadium, courtesy of Chuck Daly. Jordan inside, back outside of Corzine, missed the long gun, tapped by John Long to Lambier. Here come the Pistons on the break. Dumars wisely takes it back outside as the Bulls get back. Pistons 33, Chicago 26, 6:38 to play in the half. Dumars with it outside. Ethan Lambier and Vincent goes double as he heads for the corner. Clock at 5. Top side Long. Here's that rock set. Swish! John Eddie buries it. Big basket. 35-26 Pistons. 6:20 to play in the half. Sam Vincent. Wide now to Jordan against Long. And John up on him with some body. And he got him in the forehead. Team says Hugh Hollins. That is 14 fouls on the Pistons. Chicago has just one. Stay tuned for how that affects the last 6 and 14 now of the first half. Pistons on a 10-3 run. They lead by 9. Grant topside. Wide the lane to Corzine. Mahorn jumps at him late, and Corzine fills it. 35-28. Pistons still have 10 of the last 15 and lead them by 7 with 5:55 to play in the half. Dumars on the wing against Jordan. John Long off the screen. Sets up on top. Pass goes wide to Lambier. Inside Rodman. Turnaround. Mid-post. Glasser's good.
The Bulls are switching on every cross, and it's giving the Pistons some nice little jump shots.
Dennis Rodman with 8. 37-28 Pistons. Pippen leans foul line. Fires no. Corzine follows and fills it. He hit the hook putback. 37-30. Pistons by 7. 5:20 to play in the half. Dumars with it outside against Jordan. Clock at 12. Feeds Rodman against Davis. And go topside on Lambier against Corzine. Clock at 7. Dumars on the wing. It's at 5. And we're going to get a whistle. And a Chicago foul. Davis is hot against Rodman. And Capers and Hollins will try and keep those two apart.
There are really some bare nerves out there tonight, George, because all Dennis Rodman did was reach over and pat Davis on the hind end and say, way to hustle. And he took it wrong. He took it as a slap at him. He reached over and just tapped him on the butt and didn't think, way to hustle.
These two teams don't like each other much.
I think you could say that without reservation.
Brendan Sir told me in one of our radio pregame shows it's like going out with the same girl on 2 consecutive nights. You don't like her much to begin with. You almost certainly get in a fight on night 2. And it happened already tonight. Dumars misses the rainbow from the wing, but Rodman rebound. 4:45 to play in the half. Dumars deep on the wing. The triple try is through for 3.
You don't see Joe do that very often. He must have had the feeling. He's playing terrific basketball.
Pistons by 10. Pippen bouncing it inside for Jordan, and John Long with a body on him. Ball for the foul.
When I was coaching, we play against a superstar. I'd say, it's not a national monument. It's not a Sequoia or Mount Rushmore. Just an ordinary player, but you're never heard. It's like whispering into a forest.
You can't hear that.
No way.
Michael at the line. Misses the first. Bill Cartwright and Isaiah Thomas ejected early for fighting. After a Cartwright drive, he tried to reverse off the baseline. Isaiah there. He fell down, took Isaiah down, and Isaiah took exception, and then so did Mr. Bill.
Yeah, someone almost took Mr. Bill's shirt off. When they say stretch jerseys, they really mean it.
And everybody, or almost everybody, got in the act. Jordan split the pair, and with Dumars trying to go by him outside, Michael stuck his nose in, and Michael gets the foul.
Michael Jordan, that's his second, team's third.
He has 2. 4:24 to play in the half. Pistons 40, Chicago 31.
He did reach back and slap, but Michael had already grabbed him around the waist.
Bill Lambier wants to pick and roll with Dumars against Jordan and Corzine. Great behind-the-back feed for Lamb. Fade away over Grant, won't fall. Nice tip by Mahorn, but it pops out to Corzine. He really wrestled it away. Up to Davis. Now Grant behind the foul line of Corzine. He guns it, goes. Corzine's played very well.
This is a guy that the Chicago faithful were booing out of town 2 years ago.
40-33. Pistons by 7. Lambier topside. Low, hot pass. He's unable to handle it. It came from Dumars and went out of bounds.
The Bulls are switching automatically on the give and go.
Michael Jordan beats Pippen in the corner against Rodman. Great matchup there. Pippen's got some range. Fires no. Rebound Mahorn. Ricky Mahorn has 8 rebounds already tonight. And Chuck Daly wants timeout. 3:25 to play in the half. Pistons 40, Bulls 33. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network.
Fans, it's time for the AT&T.
Under. Get a Pistons pennant. Compliments of Oliver's Pizza. And it'll be Pistons autographed mug night for the first 6,021 or older attending the Wednesday, April 12th matchup between the Pistons and Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of Piston fans here in Chicago tonight. Season ticket holders Bruce Boychek and Bob Wawrinski, a couple of them. Pistons by 7, 3:20 to play in the half. Pistons without Isaiah, Chicago without Bill Cartwright. They were groomed early for fighting. Pistons with the clock winding down, go to Lambier outside, wide right with it. Rodman with a putback, and it's going to count. Dennis with 10. Pistons by 9, 42-33. Davis working the top, and a whistle and a foul away from the ball called on Joe Dumars, trying to hang on to Michael Jordan. Vinny's back in the game with Joe, and Lambier and Mahorn and Rodman, 3 great rebounders up front for the Pistons.
You might have 3 of the better rebounders in the league on one team, and they're all out the floor at the same time. And you know, that's why you'll never have great numbers on a continual basis with these guys, because most of the time, George, they're rebounding against each other. Like Dennis Rodman will steal one from Mahorn one time, Mahorn will steal one from Lambert, and then, you know, vice versa, which is a nice problem for a coach.
Sure. Michael Jordan splits the pair again, but Grant pulls down the missed second. 42-34, Pistons by 8. Jordan gets it deep. He is doubled, but it doesn't matter. He lays it in.
Yes, great body control. I guess that's a statement no one can dispute, but it amazes me the way what he can do with this body when he wants to.
Showed it to you there. Had a great turn in the air. Here's Rodman down the lane with a hang glide and the lefty scoop, and he hit it.
I'd be a much better shooter if I knew that Dennis Rodman was hanging around to get my missed shots, too.
A little more confident, you wouldn't hurt the team with a miss. 44-36. Davis against Vinny outside to Pippen. Pippen shows Rodman the ball, then starts to go, gets a screen from Corzine, misses off the heel. Grant with a board, put back block, out it comes to Vinny. Pistons are 2 on Jordan. DeDumar slides by Michael, hooks the reverse and draws the goaltend.
Nice 2-on-1, the 2 guards. Vinny made a nice pass into Joe, and Joe did a smart thing. George, he used the other side of the basket, and he used it as a screen because he knew he was going against the taller Scottie Pippen.
Pippen came to help and goaltended. Pistons by 10. Corzine trying to slice it to 8, misses foul line. Grant rebound. Back out to Michael Jordan. Under 2 to play in the half now. 46-36. Jordan gets a screen from Grant. Starts down the lane. And we're going to get a whistle and a Piston foul on Mahorn. Ricky picking up his second.
I had a hard time seeing that. Tommy Nunes picked up a peanut and just handed it to me. He said, I always knew you were nuts. This proves it.
He also said, like an elephant, I never forget.
He doesn't either. Neither do I. We've been going at it for 20, 21 years.
Jimmy Edwards for Mahorn for the Pistons. Horace Grant, second-year man from Clemson, averaging better than 12 and having a very nice second half of the season. Got 1. It's 46-37. Missed and then made. Here come the Pistons. Dumar's trap, cross courts to Vinny. Clock at 12 to make you use some clock. It's at 10. Edwards gets in the corner, gives it up to Dumars. They go deep in the left corner to Lambier. The long gun won't go. Corzine snatches it down. Here comes Jordan. Jordan down the lane. He will stop and fake it and dish it to Pippen. Pippen fires no. Corzine, pump fake and then a putback. Yes. (46-39).
That's as animated as I've seen Corzine. You know, we drafted him, and I coached him for a year in Washington with the Bullets. He couldn't get a lot of playing time behind Elvin and Wes, however.
You can say that again. Last minute, first half. Pistons working against the trap. Rodman gets it in the lane, fakes it, dishes to Edwards, who draws the foul. 48 seconds now to play in the half. Pistons 46, Bulls 39 in Chicago.
Against the zone press, the trap, you want the ball into the middle on the high post, and the Pistons did that time, getting it into Dennis Rodman, and then he made his penetrations like a 3-on-2 then he found James Edwards open.
On the other end, after Corzine's make, he came storming out of there, more excited than anything else, but he almost ran down Bill Lambier.
Lambier looked at at Hollins and said, hey, you know, if that was me, you'd probably call a foul.
John Sally replaces Lambier.
Bulls will probably get 2 possessions in this half.
Edwards made just 1, 47-39. Pistons lead by 8, 40 seconds to play in the half. Jordan outside. Michael Jordan with a clock at 12. Heads for the baseline. He's 3-timed out to Corzine, now Pippen. The clock is at 7. Pippen starts down on Rodman. And will Dennis get this one? No. He's called for the block. Pippen's got some quicks. Hard to beat him to the spot, and I don't think Dennis did that time.
from the replay, you can't tell from the action. I guess because I'm prejudiced, I usually go with the defense on that.
He's the courageous one. Is that what you're saying?
I think it's harder to play defense in this league than it is to play offense. And I think that on 10 calls that are given that are exactly the same, and it's really close, if you had every expert in the world here, they couldn't tell a block charge or a foul on it. They would go, I think, 7 out of 10 times with the offense.
Well, that sells more tickets. Pippen makes and makes. 47-41. Dennis Rodman replaced by Aguirre. Just a second foul and one. Dumars trapped near the timeline. 6-second differential. Shot clock 10. Dumars in the corner to Aguirre. The clock is at 7. Back out to Joe. Slapped up by Pippen. Joe recovers. Clock winding down. It's at 2. Vinny from the top. Guns counts. If it goes, it does. Vinny Johnson's triple with 5 seconds to play in the half makes it 50-41. Dumars with a steal. Down the lane. Off the high glass. Good!
They got time to intercept another one, George.
52-41 Pistons. Sam Vincent to Pippen. And at the end of the half, as Pippen misses from midcourt, the Pistons lead the Bulls in Chicago by 11. It's 52-41. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Pistons by 11 at the half in Chicago. We're set to start the third. A lot of Pistons fans here. I got a list as long as your arm. We'll try and get their names on. Derek and Anne-Marie Ramsey from Woodhaven are here. John Wood and Tim Wilkins from that great Macus restaurant chain, who handle the restaurant and the suites at the Palace, also here. Phil and Stephanie Garcia, ex out of Brighton, and we'll do some more after we get our second half start for Budweiser. For all you do, this ice-cold Bud's for you. Bill Lambier, foul line extended. Guns to start the third. It doesn't go. Jordan rebounds. Great lead feed up to Pippen. He pump faked and then slammed. (52-43). This version of the show and go. He went up. Vinny Johnson lobbing to Mahorn, low post. BJ gets it back, puts it on the floor. No looks to Dumars. Top of the key for the gun. It goes. Vinny's triple and Dumars double off a steal. Finished off the first half for the Pistons in the final 5 seconds. And now lead 54-43. As they traded hoops early in the third. Corzine gets it blocked by Mahorn. On the deck for it is Dumars.
Hard-nosed recovery there.
First minute, third quarter. Joey D, top of the key. Goes to the wing against Vincent. Off to VJ behind foul line. Pushing back now to Dumars. Clock now at 7. Mahorn tries to screen and can't. Joe will force at the top. It's short to Jordan. Only 2 people in the building get up that way. Jordan and Rodman. Jordan down the lane with a miss, but a nice tap in for Grant.
Grant's been living on the offensive board. He's very impressive this evening.
54-45. Pistons by 9. 10.5 to play in the third. Dumars against Sam Vincent. Lobbing to Aguirre. Trying to get inside on Pippen. Pippen blocks. Mark gets it back. Tries to force it up. Corzine got that one. And gets the rebound. For Pippen, now Jordan. Back to Scottie Pippen down the lane. Lays it up. No. And he's called for the offensive foul anyway. Lambier took the charge with 10 and 13 to play in the third. The Pistons lead them by 9 at Chicago Stadium. Dumars comes to work against Vincent. Clock at 12. Back outside to Lambier. It's at 10. Getting off the screen, puts it on the floor. Drives and hooks on the run. It doesn't go. Aguirre pulling it off, though. The Pistons get a fresh 24. Mark will turn and fire. No. Mahorn up for it. Loses it. Aguirre's got it. Powers it up. Blocked by Corzine, but a foul.
Foul is on Dave Corzine. That's his second, team's first.
Rick and Mark Aguirre kept that ball alive for three different shots. Just relentless pursuit of the basketball while it's up on the board.
Technical foul called on Mark Aguirre.
has now called a technical foul on Aguirre.
He had to. I can't repeat what Mark looked over and had complete eye contact with Hugh Hollins. They were staring at each other, and Mark said a naughty word.
Jordan down the other way to shoot. Well, Mark will get some people's names on the air anyway during this pause. Bob Sikora from Taylor. Joe Abramson, our statistician back in Detroit, with former UAD star Archie Tullis here. Margot Feldman, the daughter of Pistons legal counsel. Oscar Feldman, Phil Madison, Jim Blackledge, and Jeff and Bev Baker from downriver Detroit. And Mark and Eric Gold are also here. The Jordans make on the Chicago end. Aguirre makes on the Piston end. Dick Motta looks on as his former Maverick star makes his first 2 points of the night. Pistons by 10. 9:40 to play in the third. Grant up top. Off to Pippen on the way. Mark gives him some room. Clock at 10. Pippen dotted line. Leaning in. Firing no. And he traveled with it, says Jim Capri. Nine and a half to play in the third. Dumars fights his way up the floor against Sam Vincent. Pippen stepping in front of Aguirre. Steal. Vincent gets it, gives it to Pippen. Jordan gets it back. A pump fake, and now a fadeaway. From the foul line it falls. 56-48. The Piston lead is 8. 9:08 to play in the third. Dumars working against Sam Vincent. 20 on the clock. It's at 14. Then he gets it topside, squares up and guns, it goes. No doubt about that one. Pistons by 10 again, 58-48. Then he has 7. 8 now and 45 to play in the third. Sam Vincent swings it around on the wing. Michael Jordan, long guns, no. Rebound Aguirre. Off to Dumars. Pistons looking to go up 12. 8.5 to play in the third in Chicago. Dumars outside against Vincent. Mid post bounce to Aguirre. Top side Lambier. Behind a foul line, Vinny. He fires it, falls again. Softly, just like on the last trip. 60-48. Chicago in a hurry. Pippen won't take it. Gives to Corzine. Now Sam Vincent. Pump fake and a baseline move. Against Vinny. Hook speed way outside of Pippen. Clock at 12. He'll go baseline. Hooked on the run short. Rebound Lambier. Good outlet to Dumars. The Bulls are back, and Joe will pull it back and play half court. 7 now and 50 to play in the third. Pistons 60, Chicago 48. Dumars on the sideline. Lambier out to pick and roll. They double Billy breaks for the hoop. Net there by Grant. Looks outside, finds Vinny. BJ down the lane. Pump fake. We got Jordan on his back. He throws it off the high glass. Good!
That went in.
Right rim action. Counted, says Hugh Holland, and a foul.
And Vinny said, hey, there's nothing to it. All you got to do is throw that up there, put a little English on it, get fouled, get knocked down, right in the hole. Oh, boy, he just threw that up to get the 2 shots.
Vinny Johnson, when he starts making, he doesn't miss for a while.
Anyone that has a screen can see his eye concentration is not one blink in either eye. He says, heck yes, it should go in. Why not? I shot it, didn't I?
And he makes it the line, and he has 12, and Chicago wants timeout. The Pistons lead them by 15, 63-48, 7 and 34 to play in the third. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. Being taken, and salespeople are on duty. Piston executives like Tom Wilson and John Krzyzewski will be happy to have that word on the air, along with happy birthdays to their daughters coming up this week. 7.5 to play in the third. Pistons have shot up by 15. Vinny Johnson's in his last 4, 3 this quarter. Grant the dotted line for Chicago, and he turns and guns, and it goes. But before the shot, Mark Aguirre is called for the hand check.
The Bulls starting forwards were 2 for 15 in the first half, and they haven't warmed up a great deal since.
7 now and 20 to play in the third. Pistons 63, Chicago 48. 2 team fouls on Chicago. 1 on the Pistons. Pippen deep on the wing, gets by Aguirre at the foul line extension, misfires. Rebound, Ricky Mahorn. Tapped away and out of bounds by Jordan. Let's take 10 for an ID here. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. the action in Chicago. Bill Lambier against Corzine outside. Off to Mahorn, now Dumars. Shot clock winding down, it's at 5. Joe will try for 3 from the top of the key, short to Jordan. Jordan was airborne for that rebound. He has 6 to go with 17 points. Charles Davis in the game. They'll try from the baseline. No, and hit the top of the backboard, out of bounds.
Scottie Pippen's having a horrible night. It's really horrendous for any standard in the league. He's 2 for 12 in the whole game, and Michael Jordan can't do it alone if his forwards aren't hitting some of the shots. He can play point guard, he can play point forward, he can play point coach. It doesn't do him any good.
You're right. Vinny Johnson along the lane fires over. Grant fills it. 5 in a row for VJ. 4 for 4 this quarter. 65-48. The Pistons open it up. 6 and 14 to play in the third. Davis off to Jordan. They go inside to Corzine against Mahorn. He will hook over Ricky and hit. I think Corzine's played well.
He's really done a good job since Bill Cartwright was ejected. That one was by the numbers. 1, 2, step 3.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's like painting those little colors.
Vinny Johnson trying to shake and bake on Davis. Here's the fade away from the foul line. Finally, he has missed one. Rebound, Corzine. 5 and 45 to play in the third. Pistons by 15 in Chicago. Jordan off to Corzine. Gets it back to Michael Dumars, though. Sticks a hand in and steals. 2-on-2 break. Joe against Jordan. Put a shoulder into him, says Jim Capers. Offensive foul on Joe.
That's one of those calls that you really have to hold your composure on, because there was a lot of movement on that. I don't think Michael was any more set than Joe thought he was set.
Does the shoulder make a difference?
No, the name makes a difference. The number on the shoulders make a difference.
Michael Jordan and Corzine want to pick and roll against Dumars and Mahorn. Jordan gets free just for a second. Boy, in a blink of the eye, Dumars was back, but Jordan just fired and filled it at 65-52.
I don't know how you tell him to play the defense any differently than that.
5 and 10 to play in the third. Dumars giving inside for Aguirre. Against Pippen, Grant comes to double. Joe D gets it back on the wing. Topside Lambier. And now a whistle and a Pippen foul.
His second, team third.
2 on Pippen, 3 on the Bulls. Pistons with just 1 team foul in the third. 5:03 to play in it. 65-52 Pistons. Joe D, top of the key. Doubled by Corzine, helping Jordan off to Lambier. Now Joe gets it back. Gets that screen. Gets it back topside. Lamb on the wing. Now to Aguirre. Trying for 3. It's through. Aguirre triples.
Good ball movement. Mark moved out. That's his first field goal of the evening. That's a pretty good one to have. 3 points.
68-52. The Pistons lead. Corzine down the right side with a runner, and he got it. Again, it wasn't pretty, but it counts for 2, and Corzine has 14. 68-54. Dumars to work against Jordan. 4 and 20 to play in the third. Shot clock 15. Pistons up 14. Off the screen, Vinny gets it to Joe. Turns and fires and fills it. He's got it measured tonight. BJ was 16. Pistons lead by that many. 70-54. 4:04 to play in the third. Pippen in the paint on. Aguirre fires and fills it. Scottie Pippen with a rare make tonight for him. Chicago gets a delay of game warning. They bat the ball in the front row.
And I imagine that's a fatigue bat, because Michael's been out a lot of minutes, and Dave Corzine has got to pull a lot of extra duty with Bill Cartwright out.
He has all their bench points. 14, says Dave Schuster, our statistician. Pistons looking in, and Horace Grant is guilty of the foul. Four team fouls on Chicago. Mark Aguirre from the sideline to trigger. Lobs to Dumars, back near the timeline. 3 and 45 to play in the third. Simulcasting from Chicago. Vinny Johnson on the baseline, gives it back to Dumars topside, wide lane to Aguirre. And they go baseline to Lambier, pump faking the gun. It won't go, but Corzine ran at him and hit him.
That was a very smart move by Bill Lambier.
On a night like this, I should say fouled him.
He fouled him. He got him. I don't know. He got Dave airborne, and again with a nice ball fake. As Dave was coming down, then Bill thrust his shot in his body up through and got two shots at the free throw line.
Our next simulcast Monday night at 7:30 when the Pistons travel to Landover. Well, they hope the fat lady sings again someday to tangle with the Washington Bullets. That's Monday, April 10th. The Pistons and Bullets live from Landover at 7:30 on the Pistons radio and TV network against another of those teams Dick Motta coached on the way to 808 victories.
Can't go to very many cities where I haven't been, Joe.
We're on a roll now, anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Bill Laimbeer split the pair, has 12. 71-56 Pistons, 3.5 to play in the third. Jordan trying to get down the lane, does. Sally, who's just come on, fouls him. John Sally for Mahorn. McGuire, Sally, Laimbeer, Vinnie Johnson, and Joe Dumars. Where's Isaiah Thomas? Ejected late in the first for a fight with Bill Cartwright. Cartwright went too. Michael Jordan gets no free throws, no continuation call. He's still talking to the official.
Dribbling, debating, refereeing.
He's the point guard. Here he goes down the lane. He wants to make sure this time all the way to the hoop, and he hit it, and he got the foul call.
He said, don't dispute me. I was right the first time. This is the explanation mark on that last move.
Dumars walked up to Tommy Nunez and said, good call. John Long will replace Joe, who has picked up his third. Michael Jordan got his 7th straight triple-double last night in Detroit. He only has 16 career triple-doubles, but it's good for him putting numbers up when he plays point guard, and this is his 16th straight start at point guard. He makes. Laimbeer back for the Pistons, fires and fills it from the corner. 73-59. Billy has 14. Jordan's make gave him 22. We're in the third quarter in Chicago. Michael Jordan pump faking outside, dishing to Corzine. 2:50 to play in the third. Corzine bounces to Pippen. Pistons 73, Chicago 59. Shot clock 7. Pippen inside, off the glass, good. He's starting to get some semblance of a shot back. The 12-point Piston lead. John Long in the game, Rusty Dumars. And Laimbeer looked for Vinny. Lacy on the pass, swiped by Jordan down the lane. The flying finger roll, no, but he does draw the foul. Boy, that was an explosion. Vinnie Johnson fouled him. And the Pistons take time. 2:28 to play in the third. They're up a dozen in Chicago, 73-61. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Bullets game, Monday night on TV 50. Tonight, a special edition of TV 50 News after the game. Michael Jordan at the line on the Vinny foul, and he makes. And makes again. Closing in on still another triple-double, and he has now closed Chicago to within 10. 73-63. Vinnie Johnson looping to Aguirre. Back to VJ on the wing. Chicago trapping. Aguirre in the corner trying to spin away from Grant. Gets it foul line. Up fake and a dish to John Long. Nice bounce to Edwards, but he's doubled. Back out to Aguirre. Clock at 4, now 3. In the lane. Sally, now Vinny in the corner. Clock running out. Off the iron with the gun to Corzine. Now Grant, now Jordan. Michael Jordan runs long into a screen by Pippen, but he's short with it from the baseline. Aguirre lost the rebound, out of bounds. A minute and 53 to play in the third. Rodman for Aguirre. Triggering Grant to Pippen in the corner. Outside Jordan, put on the floor. Lost in the lane, got it back somehow. He is doubled and slapped away by the Pistons. Shot clock at 18. Bulls are 13-3. The Pistons 2-1 when Michael Jordan gets a triple-double. Jordan gets it outside. They're 11-4 with him starting at point guard coming into this one tonight. Jordan from the wing to the top of the key, and the whistle, and the Pistons are an illegal defense. There's Tommy Nunez. Vinnie Johnson in the wrong spot. Pippen figures to Davis. Now Michael Jordan. Jordan picking and rolling with Corzine. It back up over his head from the lane. He nearly made it. Long before that, a John Long foul.
You know, Michael Jordan knows that every set of eyes in this building are riveted on him, and that he just gave a little show there, a little frosting on the cake for a halfway decent move.
Great with the media, great with his fans, and great for the NBA and for basketball at any level. Michael Jordan.
I think right now, George, he might be the most exciting athlete alive. I don't know who would be more exciting in their moves. Now, I didn't say he was the best basketball player alive. I think that he still has some way to go as far as his leadership, but of pure excitement, of entertainment of watching the guy perform, he is in a class by himself.
He made 2 there at the line, and he's close Chicago to within 8. Minute and a quarter to play in the third. Vinny double, gives it up to Sally. John back to VJ on top, gives back to Sally. Clock at 10. John wants to take the baseline, get it inside. Wrap around feed. No to Rodman. Dennis pulling it down, and falling down on Dennis is Charles Davis. The foul will go against Davis. How can he hit the floor as hard as Dennis did and smile right now?
Come up smiling. That time he didn't pat Davis on the hind end. He decided to stay away from that one. Davis was very sour in his attitude toward it.
Jim Davey from Grosse Pointe Farms is here, and Harlan Kahn from Franklin, Michigan here too. George Blahan, Dick Marta with Harry Hunt, our producer-director, and Debbie Zubas, our assistant director. Rodman misses and then makes. Pistons by 9.
Doug Collins would like to have a bench in next year's stocking at Christmas. All of the points have been scored by Dave Corzine, 14 off the bench.
They are without Craig Hodges and John Paxson tonight, and then losing Cartwright really shortens up his team. And the Pistons are guilty of an illegal defense. Michael Jordan will shoot the technical foul free throw. Minute and 2 to play in the third. Michael with a make. The lead is 8, and the Bulls get the ball. Pippen, Corzine, Brad Sellers, who's come on, Davis and Jordan. Edwards, Sally, Rodman, John Long, and Vinny for Chuck Daly. Jordan faking the foul line. A dish deep to Sellers. He's in a crowd. Knocked off the ball. On the floor again is Rodman, this time with Sellers. Foul on Dennis.
I would look to see a zone call on Chicago the next possession. They've been in a zone almost exclusively the entire second half and haven't been called for an illegal defense yet.
Sellers went up, so did Worm. And Dennis has picked up his 3rd foul.
And they both came tumbling down.
Boy, I guess.
It's tough out there.
Brad Sellers makes.
It's a continual parade to the free throw line. And there's some people advocating that if you foul a 3-point attempt in the shot, then you should shoot 3 free throws. I think free throws are boring.
Yeah, they are, but it might be fairer. They both go for Sellers. Pistons go to VJ down the lane. Missed the flying scoop, but he is fouled by Corzine. With 44 seconds to play now in the third, it's 74-68. Chicago slowly but surely, Dick, narrowing the gap. Vinnie Johnson has been a tower of strength for Chuck Daly tonight. He has 11 already in the third. We'll try 2 here at the line. The first one falls. Grant for Corzine for Chicago. VJ with a deep breath, guns again, gets it again. 76-68 Pistons, VJ with 18. Michael Jordan on the outside for Chicago. Topside Sellers, he likes it there. He fires, it rims away. Rodman keeps it alive. He and Long fight over it. Dennis wins the battle. Off to Vinny. 10-second differential, shot clock and quarter clock. The shot clock is now at 10. Vinny back to the timeline. DJ against Davis. High screen from Edwards. Vinny wheels down the lane. Nice dish to Long for the rock set. Wide left. No. DJ boards it. Plenty of time left in the quarter. Corkscrew scoop. No. Follow Edwards. No. Whistle and a foul.
That's probably the hardest thing to do as a player is when you get an offensive rebound and you're messing with the clock, not to go up with it again. Vinny thought he had a nice shot. I would think way down deep that Chuck would rather have him back it out and play for the last shot.
Edwards at the line. Grant with his third foul.
The thing that you have to do now if you're Detroit is to try to keep the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands, and if he should get it, then I would two-time him right now and make him get it into someone else's hands.
Jimmy gets the first, and he's short in the second. All right, 5 seconds left right now to Michael Jordan. 77-68 Pistons. 1 second. Before he can shoot it, the horn sounds, and the Pistons did their job in the final 5 of the third, and they lead after 3 in Chicago by 77-68. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. If you joined us late in the first, Bill Cartwright and Isaiah started a brawl. Cartwright took exception to Isaiah's defense on his shot, and then all heck broke loose.
I think that's pair 6, and I don't think that I would like to fight Isaiah Thomas, even though the stature of this thing is, you know, is like David and Goliath. But I think that the little guy got the best of the punching.
You don't want to fight him, especially here on the west side of Chicago.
That's where he learned it all.
In what they call the hood. Chicago with it to start the fourth. Pistons 77, Bulls 68. Jordan missing the flying jam. But there's a reason Jimmy Edwards with a foul. And as Michael goes to the line, after Edwards stopped the stuff with a foul, let me tell you about the Piston staffers that are here. Maria Walter, Debbie Smith, Laurie Sanders, Tina Bell, Grover McCants, Jamie Kriegel, Julie Wagner, Wendy Witter, Kathleen Briggs, Pat Bialik, Lisa Andrews, Terry Hill, and Tracy Long. Tracy and Tina, a couple of Madeline Ward's ticket people that work so hard at the palace. Michael makes 2. It's 77-70. Dumars, John Long, Sally, and Robin and Edwards start the fourth for the Pistons.
I figured that they'd give an illegal call because they have been in the zone. The Bulls have all night, and yet they've been calling on the Pistons the other end. And, you know, tit for tat, you've got to even that thing out.
That's what happened there. First one on Chicago. Next one, the Pistons get a technical foul, free throw. John Long dishing in the lane for Rodman. Dennis couldn't hang on, but hung on long enough to get it to Edwards. Edwards fouled hard on his shot by Pippen. Boy, he may have wrenched his back being dragged down. Let's hope he's okay. Looks to be in at least some momentary pain.
You know, when you go up for a stuff like that, attempt a stuff, it never happened to me, but, you know, you really are vulnerable. You're stretched out all the way up, and a foul from the blind side like that, you come down wrong, and you know these tall guys, these 7-footers, when they land little skiwampas, you know, that's like a major earthquake.
Chuck Daly looking on, voted Coach of the Month in March when he was 16-1, and back in November, and trying tonight to set a franchise record for wins of the season with 55.
When you shoot in double free throw attempts, doesn't count as a double triple or a triple quadrangle or something like that, does it? But Michael Jordan is 11 for 13 tonight from the free throw line.
Jimmy Edwards 1 for 2 that trip at 78-70 Pistons early fourth. Jordan dishing to Corzine, one lane. Spins on Sally. Doesn't shake him. John blocks the fadeaway from the baseline. Picked up inside by Grant. Foul from behind. John got him. 11 and 12 to go in the game. Time enough for us to remind you that the Broadway, downtown Birmingham and Detroit, is where the Pistons management and players suit up in great style and fashion. For the man who wants that special difference in his clothes and his clothing store, the Broadway is the ultimate men's store.
Right now, George, the tempo, which is very, very slow in the half-court game, really does favor the Bulls, because the Bulls are coming down and working the zone trap, and it's spreading the Pistons offense.
Ran at the line, got them both. 6-point game. Bill Lambier for Edwards. And they come up sore after that. That being the foul from behind by Pippen on the attempted jam. John Long, great feet in the lane to Rodman. He'll wrap it around to Sally, and they stop Sally's lay-in. Another Hart Davis foul. He could qualify as a bad boy.
He's either clumsy or he's diabolical. I can't figure it out yet. I haven't seen him play that much.
The man from Vanderbilt has 4 fouls. Sally at the line. Pistons 78, Chicago 72. John Sally, who missed 15 with a fracture in the ankle, gets to the line and gets his first point tonight. Well, he made 2 big ones in the late going in Seattle, didn't he? He split the pair here, making them missing. Grant boards it. Pistons by 7, 79-72, 10 and 47 to play in the game. Jordan trying to get behind a Corzine screen. Sally jumps out on him. Dumars doubles off the Corzine in the wing. He's free for the gun. It goes. 79-74. Chicago's within 5. Corzine has 16. Ricky Mahorn about to come back. Dumars doubled outside. Heads for the line. Grabbed by Jordan, then Davis.
The foul is on Charles Davis.
It's on Davis.
Team's third. Rick Mahorn back.
Charles Davis has 5. Ricky Mahorn checks in for the Pistons. Sally and Long come out. Denny and Ricky come in. So you have Lambier, Rodman, and Mahorn up front. Those 3 rebounding machines. Vinny and Dumars in the backcourt. Joey gets it from BJ on top. Guns, it goes. 81-74. The Piston lead is 7. Just over 10 to play in the game. Michael Jordan to work. Jordan doubled as he heads for the corner. And the Pistons are in an illegal defense, says Hugh Holland.
This reminds me of the Utah game out in Salt Lake last week. I think there were 6 illegal defenses called. There were 7, but there were 6 free throws shot, technical.
Chuck Daly watches Michael Jordan waltz to the line to shoot one more time. Michael makes, and he has 30. It's a 6-point game. 22nd timeout called here with 9:58 left. The Pistons call it. 81-75 in Chicago. The Pistons by 6. The entire Eastern Conference playoff pecking order nowhere near but decided, Dick Motta.
Oh, it's a dogfight. I just look at those records, and I can't hardly believe that all comes from one conference. I really think that the team that survives the conference championship will go on and prevail for the NBA championship.
Pistons trying to beat Cleveland for the best record in the East. New York's going to win the Atlantic Division, thus will be seeded 2nd. The other guy goes to 3rd and has to play Atlanta, the number 6 team in round 1, and that could be trouble. 4 and 5, Chicago and Milwaukee go in round 1. The Bulls and Bucks fighting for home court advantage right now. Chicago inside to Corzine, flips it up, no. Tapped around, out of bounds, Bulls ball. 18,676 here to watch Doug Collins and the Bulls, the 75th straight sellout. Boy, when he was healthy, he was a heck of a player. Doug Collins played, of course, for Will Robinson of Illinois State. Well, most valuable member of the Pistons staff. And a coaching legend in his own right. Corzine, dotted line hook, air ball, but Davis is there with a reverse putback. 81-77. Chicago's within 4. That was a Chicago 20-second timeout before. Now Chuck Daly wants one. Boy, and he's got to fire his team up now. They've had it mostly their way here in Chicago. Paul Tarnas from back in the Detroit area here, and so is ex-Detroiter Jim Cooper watching the Pistons and the Bulls.
I would look to see some type of legislation change, George, concerning the zone defense. You know, they're not making the players trap anymore. I would like to see them take it one step further. By the rule, it says you have to do a hard trap. You have to go with enthusiasm and trap the ball. I'd like to see them take it where you said that you couldn't come out of the trap unless the ball moved itself.
That fella says it's hard to see whether they're zoning or not.
The other one doesn't care.
9 and 12 left. Vinnie Johnson jumps it up, foul line over Davis, and in! VJ with 20. Boy, did he look for his shot there. 83-77 Pistons. Just under 9 left. Chicago to Grant. Grant dotted line force. No, it's off the heel. Foul, though, on Bill Laimbeer. Just 2. Bulls with 3 team fouls. The Pistons also with 3. Horace Grant at the line, and the crowd chants at Bill Laimbeer. Had Ricky Mahorn say at halftime, Bill kind of plays off it. When they jeer Mahorn, he kind of shuts it off. They may be making a mistake jeering at Laimbeer.
By the way, he can shoot 3-pointers and hit that outside shot. I wouldn't want to rile the guy up.
Grant got 1. He split the pair, so it's the Pistons by 5, 83-78, 8:45 to go. Then he gets it from Rodman, working against Davis, playing with 5. BJ shows it to him, dishes to Dumars on the wing. He guns, it rolls away. Mahorn there for the rebound. Here's the putback. Yes, and he is fouled. An emotional Ricky Mahorn gets a big-time basket for Chuck Daly there. And he is fouled.
And he had enough energy left over to taunt the crowd a little bit, and he probably had a right to, because that thing did roll in. He was talking to the thing all the way, and then he had some energy left over. He thought he'd get the crowd involved a little more. They seem a little sedate here.
Guess who nailed him? Michael Jordan, and he has 4. Ricky makes at the line. Pistons by 8. 86-78, 8.5 left. Jordan against Dumars, working the wing. Jordan down the lane to the hole. Turned his back to Laimbeer, but they bang in the air, and Billy gets the foul. He has some to give.
Bill Laimbeer is third.
That is Bill Laimbeer's 3rd. 8 and 22 left. Jordan at the line.
Whenever you play Michael Jordan, you hope that your team is far enough ahead that they're not hanging in close to you at the end of the game, because the guy can get to the free throw line. He has great body motion and control, and he can knife himself in and get fouled.
He now has 31 points and make it 32. He got them both. This is not going to be easy, folks. 8 and 20 left. Pistons by 6 in Chicago. Trying to finish off a sensational season sweep of the Bulls. That would be incredible. Rodman, lazy pass. Laimbeer comes forward. DJ gets it on the wing. 5 for 3. Won't go through. Jordan rebounds. Dumars had one roll away last trip, but Mahorn made a 3-point trip out of it. Vinny's triple rolled off that time. Looked like it was down. Corzine from the wing. Then he jumps at him, so Davis gets it inside. Jump hooks and hits. Good feed from Corzine. 4-point game, 86-82. 7 and 42 left. Ricky Mahorn on the sideline. Back outside and cross court. Dumars gives to Vinny. Back to Joe. Joe foul line, now dotted line. Scoops from the lane, lefty, no. Follow Lambier, no, but he's fouled.
Foul, Scottie Pippen.
Pippen got him.
Penalty.
Pippen has 4. The Bulls are over the limit.
The zone press, George, does take you out of your set offense. I've advocated for years that 24 seconds is not enough time to attack the zone properly. And I've always wanted to have the league adopt the rule that the 24-second clock didn't start until there was possession in the front court. That would give you an extra 3 or 4 seconds to make that one pass for the nice little shot.
It has unquestionably hurt the Pistons late in last night's game and off and on all night long tonight.
Well, you knew that you would see it a lot tonight because they employed it strictly throughout the fourth quarter last night. Like you say, it was effective, and Doug Collins is desperate for a win against the Pistons.
Lambier calmly buried them both. Pistons by 6 again, 7 1/4 left. Clock moving slowly from the Piston perspective. Jordan on the way. Dumars fights him as he tries to go baseline. Joey gets the foul. Dumars has now picked up his 4th. 7 and 17 to play. Pistons 88, Chicago 82. Michael Jordan making a living at the line tonight. Bad looking try on the first, but it was soft enough to go down.
He's attempting his 18th free throw. 2 of them have been technicals, of course. But I think in the long run, this is going to hurt the Bulls and Michael Jordan's play because you have a tendency when one guy controls the ball as much as he is to stand around and watch him.
Michael made them both. 4-point game again. Vinnie Johnson against the trap, dribbles to the lane. Nice dish to Mahorn. It's easy up and in off the glass. Chuck Daly applauding that breakdown of the trap.
It's easier to split the zone than people think, and players can get through it and get into the middle.
6 and 58 left. Chicago wants timeout. Pistons lead them 90-84. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. The Pistons do. Timeouts left. Pistons with 4, Chicago with 3. These teams could be in need of them down the stretch. Pistons by 6, Bulls ball. Shot clock 15, 6 and 50 left. Pippen on top. Off to Jordan. Mahorn and Rodman on him. Inside to Corzine. Rodman may have gotten a piece of it. Down it comes to Mahorn. Corzine with a miss. Here come the Pistons. They could go up 8. Chuck Daly knows what he wants. The pick and roll with Dumars and Lambier against Jordan and Corzine. Corzine overplaying and drilling it out of bounds. Now we have 6 and 31 left. Shot clock 10. Pistons by 6. Rodman to Dumars. High screen on Jordan from Lambier. Joey goes baseline right. And Jordan rides him all the way, and it's out of bounds. A turnover. Here comes Chicago. Charles Davis. Off to Jordan, deep on the lane. Jordan, dotted line. Guns. Blocked by Mahorn. Vinny pulls it down. And does he hang on to it or what?
Michael said he saw a fish in Mahorn. Mahorn says no nets out tonight. He just blocked him through it.
Vinny trying to go by Corzine and Jordan. He's on the floor. Corzine with a foul. 5 on Corzine. Whether the fans here like it or not, if they lose Corzine, they're in trouble.
He's had a terrific game this evening. He's spelled Bill Cartwright and done an admirable job. He has to be tired right now, and some of those fouls might be due to fatigue. And on the defensive end, he is switching every time on the pick and roll, and they're double teaming Joe Dumars as he uses his screen, and it's very effective. It's probably neutralized Detroit's pick and roll more than any team so far that I've watched this year.
Vinnie Johnson, what a great job tonight replacing Isaiah. BJ finally misses in his 5th try at the line. He has 21. It's 91-84 Pistons. 5:45 to play. Isaiah kicked out in the first, along with Bill Cartwright for fighting. Pippen, pump fake, and then a goal. He is 2-time at the basket, and the Pistons will get the foul. The question is, which guy in blue will be whistled for?
You know, right now, Scottie Pippen doesn't have any confidence in his shot. He was open to take the shot. He just had to drive. He didn't feel he had any confidence in it going to the hole.
Joe Dumars has picked up his 5th out of defense.
That's an important statistic.
5:37 still to play. Pistons 91, Bulls 84. Pippen at the line. Got it.
The 5-minute mark when you're in a close ball game like this, and there's 5th foul. You say each foul is worth 8 minutes, basically. In a 48-minute game, you just have to go with the guy.
Especially with no Isaiah. Pippen got them both. 91-86. The Pistons lead by 5. 5.5 to play. Dumars off to Vinny. Off the screen. Wide the lane. Gonzi got it. What a big-time make. BJ with 23. Pistons by 7. 5:17 to play. Davis outside. Pops to Corzine. Give and go back to Davis inside. He's on the floor. Bill Lambier with a foul. Davis will roll over and get up slowly.
I would say that he was caught in a sandwich that time. Maybe a rock in a hard place because he was really squeezed. I would look to see the Bulls stay right with the zone defense because they can't handle Vinny coming off the curls in the man-to-man alignment.
The Bulls trainer on file came off and tended to Davis and didn't get charged for a 20.
According to the rule, you know, they've used a 20-second timeout. When a trainer comes onto the floor, it is a charged timeout. If you have a 20, you can use it for that. If not, then you have to take a regular timeout.
Davis missed the first free throw. Doug Collins with Phil Jackson, Tex Winter, and John Box with him on the bench. Davis misses them both. Rebound, Ricky Mahorn. 5:06 left.
That's that crack you look for.
Dumars looking for Vinny. DJ wants it, takes it baseline, fires it up. No. And he's going to get the offensive foul. He and Jordan were there. You know which way that's going to go.
Unfortunately, yes.
Timeout, Chicago.
Timeout, Chicago. 5 minutes flat left. Pistons 93, Bulls 86. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network.
Thanks for sports.
22. They've needed almost all of them, leading here 93-86 in Chicago. 4:50 left. Pippen outside against Dumars. Joy playing with 5. This is to Corzine. He's playing with 5 too. He drills it baseline though. 93-88.
Interesting defensive adjustment. Dennis Rodman is guarding Michael Jordan now with Joe Dumars' 5 fouls.
Good move by Chuck Daly. Bill Lambier on the wing, fighting Mahone in the corner against Grant. Grant reaches in, doesn't slap it away. Lamb gets it top side, pump fakes, and travels, says Jim Capers.
Oh, wow.
The Pistons don't need any more calls like that in here. Charles Davis, who's also playing with 5. Michael Jordan, Corzine, Grant, and Pippen for the Bulls. Jordan on the wing. 4:10 left. Clock at 12. Pistons up 5. Jordan fires from the foul line extension and fills it. 93-90. And the Pistons take a full timeout. 3:55 to play. A full timeout here in Chicago. 93-90 Pistons. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. Cleveland lost tonight in Washington, 107-96. That's 15 straight home wins for the Bullets. They're 28-9 in there. The Pistons go in Monday.
Wes has got the guys playing awfully hard. He doesn't have as much talent as a lot of teams in the league, but it's a good demonstration of great hustle.
Pistons need one here. Chicago's closed to within 3. Trapping everywhere. Bill Lambier finds Mahorn, who gives to Dumars. Now the Pistons can run an offense. Shot clock go down to 10. 3:45 left. Vinny dishes to Dumars from the wing. The rainbow goes! What a huge hoop for Joe Dumars. 95-90. 3:35 to play. The Pistons up 5. Pippen against Vinny. Corzine, watched by Rodman. Mahorn's on Jordan this trip. Shot clock 7. Michael carried the ball inside, no call. Dishes to Pippen, deep right, 4 on the clock, down 3. He just tripled. I don't know, Dick. I thought he lost the dribble. 95-93. Anyway, that's what counts, because that's what's up on the board. Pistons up 2. Denny from the corner tries for 3. It's through! DJ answers a triple with one of his own.
Why not? Why not do that?
98-93. 2:50 left. 2:50 to play in the game. Pistons by 5 in Chicago. Jordan bothered by Mahorn, and the Pistons in illegal defense again. Hugh Hollins is the guy who put it on Chuck Daly in Utah with all the zones.
He sure did, and it's the same type of call. It's, hey, I caught you. They're playing man-to-man. Chicago's lining 3 players up in the non-combative area, which I totally disagree to. And they're isolating the two-man play on the other side. And whoops, we caught you. You know, like you might be 6 inches inside the line.
That time they don't get a free throw to go on the call.
How far can we go, Hugh?
Pistons 98, Chicago 93. 2:39 to play. Fresh 24 now for the Bulls. Pippen to Davis. Pippen gets it back. Left wing against Vinny. Top side now. Rodman's on Jordan. Michael. Double up fake and a dish to Corzine for the Glasser. Mid-post and it goes. Pistons by 3 again. 2:20 left. It's 98-95. Dumars gets free, wide of the lane, flicks it up. No. Off the heel. Whistle foul. Could it be? It is on Michael Jordan. Jordan with 5. 2:09 left. Dennis Rodman at the line. Michael Jordan playing with 5 now. Rodman flicks it up and fills it up. How about that?
Real good backspin, nice wrist.
Collins saying, how did he make that? Well, he's getting better. Second one, though, short. Tap, control, Corzine. Doubled in backcourt. Corzine with the dribble and a give up now to Grant. They get it to Jordan. 2 minutes left. Pistons by 4. Bulls ball. Jordan outside, clock at 12. Corzine posting Rodman. Mahorn's on Jordan. Jordan to the lane. Short with a shot. And the Pistons incredulous about the call, but it'll go against Mahorn.
The Bulls are running a pick and roll with Michael Jordan and Dave Corzine. Rick Mahorn is guarding Corzine, and the Pistons are switching. As soon as they get the switch, then Corzine clears out, and that gives Michael Jordan a one-on-one with Rick Mahorn.
Jordan with a make. And another. They're down just a deuce. 99-97. Chuck Daly with a play call for his Pistons. Joe Dumars looking for a Lambier screen outside. Dribbles into the lane. Flicks it back up. No! And he's fouled out. An offensive foul called on Joe. about hanging on. Isaiah ejected for fighting, and now Dumars is fouled out. Chuck Daly will take timeout. 1:35 left. Pistons up 2 in Chicago. 99-97. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. Well, the Pistons will run a one guard. John Sally checks in. Rodman and Vinny essentially in the backcourt now. Sally, Mahorn, and Bill Laimbeer up front. Pippen, Davis, Jordan, Corzine, and Grant for Chicago. Pistons by 2. Bulls ball. Minute and a quarter to play. Jordan against Rodman on the wing. Clock at 9. 7 as he goes baseline. Leans in. Gun. It goes. We're all tied up at 99. Jordan has 40. Chuck Daly calls the play. It's Vinny against Davis. Mahorn comes to screen. BJ off a double team. Fires it. Rolls off. Davis has it. And is he fouled? Coming away with it? Yes, he is, says Jim Capers. If it weren't for bad luck, the Pistons would have no luck at all.
It's not the respect you'd think for the leading team in the NBA as far as record is concerned over 72 ball games.
They're now going to need to do it against everybody in the building. Corzine misses the first. That'll help a little, maybe a lot. 56 seconds left, tied at 99. Corzine splits the pair. We will stay here as the Pistons take a timeout. We'll stay here over this timeout. Doug Collins and the Bulls talk it over. Chuck Daly and Brendan Sir and Brendan Malone plot Piston strategy. Chicago's up 1, 56 seconds to play. Let's take 10 here for an ID. This is the Detroit Pistons Basketball Network. Captain in the absence of Isaiah Thomas, who was gone for a first quarter fight with Bill Cartwright, says the Pistons wanted at midcourt. Chuck Daly's team down 1. A win tonight means a 6-game series sweep of the Bulls and a franchise record for wins in the season. They have 54 right now. Shot clock 20. Vinny outside against Davis. McGuire's in the game. Mark McGuire to Laimbeer, top of the key. Billy looking to bounce to Mark. Wide lane against Corzine. He will jump it up. And he fills it up! How about that?
Well, that's tough to do when you've been sitting on the bench that long to hit an open jump shot.
Mark McGuire, one of those gunslingers to play for Dick Motta in Dallas. It's 101-100. 27 seconds to play. Jordan trying to come down the lane. He does, but dishes to Corzine. Wide open. He fills it up. Now we have 20 seconds left. And Chuck Daly wants a timeout as soon as Vinnie Johnson gets across the timeline. 14 seconds left. We'll stay right here. The Chicago Bulls lead it 102-101.
Dave Corzine has hit every big shot that he's had to take when the Pistons have forced Michael Jordan to give up the ball.
And that's what they did. No argument there. They forced him to give it up. And Jordan, showing some maturity, did give it up.
Well, he was two-time. I think early in his career he would have forced something there, try to get to the free throw line, but he knows that Corzine has the hot hand, and he's in that 12, 14-foot.
14 seconds to play. Chicago 102, the Pistons 101. Rodman looking to trigger, does to Vinny, slapped away by Pippen out of bounds. Boy, the way the calls have gone against the Pistons tonight, I'm surprised they get the ball here. 13 seconds left now.
No timeouts. Everyone has to move to the ball. He has to throw it in within 5 seconds. Everyone has got to move hard to get the ball.
Mahorn does. He gets it. Gives to Lambier outside. They work it to Vinny. We have 9 seconds left. Now 8. BJ inside. Throws it up. And he's fouled. 5 seconds to play. Vinny at the line. Michael Jordan fouls out. Now, if Vinny can force overtime anyway, Chicago will do it without Cartwright, who's already been groomed along with Isaiah for the first quarter fight, and now Michael Jordan. The Pistons are without Joe Dumas, as we said a moment ago, who was fouled out.
Well, one thing you don't want to do is relax right now. Even if Vinny makes both free throws, normally it would be into Michael Jordan's hands for that thrust. Doug Collins will call a timeout and set it up. But you have to really be careful not to commit a foul in that last 5 seconds.
Bill Lambier reminding Rick Mahorn that he's got to get after it. Salad off the bench for Mark Aguirre.
That's an offensive-defensive substitution and a smart one. No timeouts left for the Detroit Pistons.
Here's the first free throw. He missed it.
Players cross in front of Vinny, trying to ice him up there.
The second. We got a tie game. How about a tough make there on the second one?
I'm glad it's him taking it and not me. That's probably one of the toughest situations in sports, George.
Let me tell you what, I looked away.
You did?
And looked at the crowd, and when they didn't cheer, I knew we had a 102 tie.
I only did that one time in my coaching career when I looked away, and it was in this stadium. My first year here when Tom Borwinkle was a rookie, and Jerry West fouled him with
3-2-3-4-3-1-8 and get world-class travel service. The Pistons Backcourt Club uses Thomas Cook Travel, and they'll be in New York City next weekend. Larry Ribiot and Bernie and Judy Gerke and all the long-time Piston loyalists will be there courtesy of Thomas Cook Travel.
Without Michael Jordan, I think that Scottie Pippen is going to receive all of the screens and try to free him and let him go and try to create something at the buzzer. Now here, the Bulls want to take the very last shot. They want an overtime or a win. They don't want to commit any fouls or do anything silly. They want to keep the clock on their side.
Chicago without Jordan. The Pistons without Dumas. Cartwright's not here either. Neither is Isaiah. Gone in the first for fighting, and Sellers, who couldn't get the ball in bounds in time, called a timeout and will stay here for this one too.
On the college rule, if the hash has gone to the 4-second and the player calls a timeout, the referee won't allow it and let the 5 seconds expire. In the pros, they'll call it whenever you signal for it, no matter where they are in the hash. And that was about 4.5 seconds before Sellers decided to call the timeout.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was right there.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Flirting hard with 5.
And the Pistons are jump switching in the face of any Bull that comes toward the ball. This is a tough pass, George, because you have 5 defensive players in a 90-degree angle where the ball has to be passed into the forecourt against 4 offensive players.
We're down to no Chicago timeouts.
Back. And there's all kinds of jump switching going on.
Duck Daly, the coach of what Doug Collins calls the best defensive team in the NBA, needs a little more defense right now out of his team. Sellers has to trigger one way or the other from midcourt. They don't have another timeout to call.
No other
Pistons have
ploys.
1. Sellers looks and looks and looks and looks and gets it to Pippen. Pippen against Mahorn down the lane. Blocked by Rodman. Overtime. Overtime. And Doug Collins, who I think's had a pretty good whistle tonight, is furious about a no call on the Dennis Rodman block. At the end of regulation.
I thought maybe Doug Collins thought the game was over and he was going to his dressing room. He was clear past the 10-second line.
102. Overtime coming up on the Pistons Basketball Network. The Pistons outfought the Bulls in the final 5 seconds of regulation. Dennis Rodman up for the block. And we are now going to start overtime. Doug Collins went crazy. He couldn't believe it was not a goaltend. Chuck Daly later couldn't believe Collins didn't get a technical foul for being on the floor.
Someone was on the fast break. Doug Collins showed why he was a good player in the NBA.
Mike Williams, Vinny, John Sally, Rodman, and Lambier start OT for the Pistons. Pistons 3-1 in OT, Bulls 2-1. No Cartwright or Jordan for Chicago. No Isaiah or Joe Dumars for the Pistons. Cartwright and Isaiah ejected. Dumars and Jordan have fouled out. Pistons guilty of a step in on the opening tap of OT, and the Bulls get the ball.
John Sally usually wins the jump ball, and Chuck had him in there in the overtime. During the regular game, it doesn't matter too much who gets it, but in the overtime, it's very important.
We're only talking 5 minutes. Tied at 102. Here we go. Bulls get first possession. Davis to Pippen. The foul line extension. It's off the heel, out of bounds, off Corzine. Pippen with a miss on the first possession either way in OT. Tim Allen, the Bulls publicist, looks even a whiter shade of pale looking at this one. Nice play. There's a nice job. Here come the Pistons. There's a nice guy with a nice job. Vinnie Johnson up in the air in the lane, hitting the turn and gun. VJ with 29. It's 104-102 Pistons. Pippen trying to go right back to the Bulls. Blocking foul call. Williams thought he took the charge, but didn't.
You know, on that last pass when Vinny came off the curl, Michael Williams hit him with the perfect time pass so Vinny could go up in nice rhythm. This is a big moment for a rookie to come into a game in an overtime situation like this. Chuck must have a lot of confidence in the kid.
Pippen at the line. Missed the first. A lot of backspin, maybe too much. 4-21. The extra English on the first free throw. Popped it out. The second one rolls off. And Rodman hangs on to the rebound. Pistons up a deuce. We're still in the first minute of OT. Vinny backing up against Davis. Shot clock at 10. And inside, Chicago's caught in the zone.
They weren't caught in the zone. Two men were guarding Dennis Rodman under the basket, and they left Mark Aguirre outside. That's one of the few times that the Bulls were not in a zone, quote-unquote defense.
Bill Lambier toes the line to shoot the technical foul free throw. And he makes.
How can two guys get mixed up and guard Dennis Rodman? He's not that great an offensive threat and leave Mark Aguirre alone out in the three-point area.
That's an insult to Mark, huh? Well, Dennis has had a heck of a game tonight. Williams trying to penetrate, guns on the run off the glass. No, Lambier captures the rebound. He is fouled. Where is he?
Loose ball foul on Dennis.
Loose ball foul on Dennis Rodman.
Second team foul.
He called it the other way. Jimmy Capers got it mixed up and started to go down toward the other end.
3:55 to play in OT. Pistons by 3. 105-102. Sam Vincent, Pippen, Charles Davis, Grant and Corzine for Chicago. Vincent from the wing. Guns, no. Rebound comes out to Pippen. Pippen at the dotted line, leans in, and he traveled. He got it to go. But it doesn't count. The Pistons have a 3-point lead in the ball. 3:38 to play in overtime. Michael Williams upcourting against Vincent. Michael backs off in the double team, gives to Lambier, off to VJ. Got Pippen one-on-one. Foul line extended left. Clock at 9. Spinning. Here's the turning guy. No, over the hole. And Rodman's trying to save, falls out of bounds. And we're going to get a Mark Aguirre foul.
Foul called on Mark
A
Aguirre.
loose ball foul on Mark.
That's his second.
Pistons now with 2 team fouls.
Now's the time you just have to leave the referee alone. You can't afford a technical with a three-point lead. And the other team with the ball, because that could go a technical and the basket could tie it up.
3 and 18 left in a classic in its own way in Chicago. Davis on top, up to Corzine, got in line, push, wide, rebound, Aguirre. Pistons with their 3rd chance to go up 5. We've played 2 minutes in overtime. Vinny, bouncing to Aguirre against Pippen. Mark Boston got it back in the corner. Clock at 6, in the lane for Rodman. On the floor. Pippen has it to Grant. They don't convert a 3rd time. About halfway through the overtime. Sam Vincent, the show and go on Williams. A scoop, no. Lambier falling down, doesn't hold it. Out of bounds, Chicago.
This is wild out there, George.
It's 105-102 Pistons. Bulls ball with a fresh 24. Well, this is a night when you really got to coach it. Chuck Daly trying to get still another Piston stop. Chicago on the wing to Vincent. Screen from Grant. Sam foul line, wide open, fires in and out to Rodman. Off to Vinny. And Vinny Johnson will get his high screen here. Pistons have called his play. Davis playing with 5. Vinny draws the double. Hooks it in the lane to Rodman. Off to Aguirre. He will drive and finger roll, blocked by Pippen, but a foul. No goaltend, but 2 free throws for Mark Aguirre.
Good ball movement. Dave Corzine continues to trap the guard and stay in the trap on the pick and roll. That time Vinny Johnson backed up. It created a little bit of space, and the good ball movement found Mark Aguirre open in the corner.
Good comment. They did get some space for Mark. Pistons still can't lengthen that 3-point lead. We have 2 minutes left. The Bulls without Michael Jordan, who is fouled out. Joe Dumars fouled out for the Pistons. Aguirre again. This time he gets it. 106-102. Pistons by 4. Minute and 55 to play in overtime. Sam Vincent looking for that high screen from Corzine, and the Pistons an illegal defense again.
Mark Aguirre, technical foul.
Hugh Hollins called it again. He's on a certain page in the book. I know that much.
It's like jelly beans. You're giving them everyone who wants a new Easter egg. Just handing them out like you would candy.
Sam Vincent with a big make at the line. 3-point game. Pistons 106, Chicago 103. 1:50 to play in OT. New 24 for the Bulls. Pippen to Davis. Charles Davis gives back to Pippen. They hand to Vincent against Michael Williams, clock at 15. The dish to Pippen way outside against Aguirre. In the lane of Grant, trying to jam. No! Pulled down by Lambier. A minute and a half to play in overtime. Pistons by 3 and with it. Vinny Johnson against Davis. BJ down the lane. Nice dish to Aguirre. Left corner for the long gun. No! Rodman keeps it alive. Vinny has it outside. Keeping the dribble. Gets through the crowd. Down the lane. Breaks it down for Aguirre. It's up. It's in off the window.
That was a great pass.
108-103. Vinny Johnson's done it all. And Chicago wants time. 106 to play in overtime. It's the Pistons by 5. Timeout in overtime on the Pistons Basketball Network. Vinny Johnson on the last scramble showed great ability and court sense to get Mark Aguirre a hoop coming out of a crowd.
Do you know how hard Dude, that's like one of Pete Maravich's dribble drills, but now you're in an overtime game with a couple of people watching you and a lot at stake. And then he finds the open man, had complete vision of the court.
And the Pistons lead by 5, 1:05 to play in overtime. Charles Davis outside against Vinny. Topside Vincent, flick away by Vinny. Vincent gets it back. 15 on the clock. The dish left corner. Mike Williams steps in front and steals on Pippen. Well, wait a minute. They're going to call a blocking foul on the Pistons.
Long after the bad pass, and Michael Williams makes a great play. They picked up Sam Vincent on the way to the hole. Dennis Rodman slipped over and picked up the man. Michael Williams did exactly what he's supposed to do, went over and covered for the flat pass and intercepted.
On the replay, they happened at about the same time. Now, Detroit time, they didn't happen at the same time. But in this building, you're going to get that call.
You shouldn't, but it does take place.
Sam makes 2. 55 seconds to play in overtime. The Pistons had it signed and sealed, maybe with a steal, but they took it away, gave him 2, and he got him. Pistons by 3, 55 seconds to play in overtime in Chicago. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. The 6-game series is 5-0 Pistons. 55 seconds to play in the first overtime, game 6. Pistons by 3. Michael Williams gets it on top against Sam Vincent. He's gaining invaluable experience here tonight. Williams working outside. Clock at 10. Michael keeps the dribble, bounces to Vinny off the screen. Here's the turning guy. No. Rebound. Corzine. 35 seconds left. Off to Sam Vincent. 30 seconds left. Bill Laimbeer playing on that bad ankle. Vincent down the lane, motors to the hole. He's on the floor, and the Pistons will get the foul. It's on Williams.
Correction. A foul on Williams. Michael Williams, his 4th.
Well, we have 27 seconds to play in overtime now. At the line on the Mike Williams foul. Sam Vincent at the line. Here's the first. Yes. No doubt about it.
I would look to see the Bulls probably try to play good defense for about 10 or 15 seconds and maybe go for the steal or the foul. They can't let the Pistons run the clock down to the 3-second mark.
Let's stay here as Vincent makes them both. It's the Pistons 108 and Chicago 107.
But Michael Jordan's going to get a lot of points anyway, but he did earn the majority of them. Most of his points have come from the free throw line.
Our Lights Jewelers Defensive Player of the Game, then Joe Dumars, getting a gift certificate from Larry Light and the people at Lights Fine Jewelers in Birmingham and Meadowbrook Mall in Rochester. 27 seconds to play in overtime. Fresh 24 for the Pistons. They lead them 108-107. Bumped in backcourt by Charles Davis is Vinny and fouled.
That's all, his 6th personal foul.
Vinny at the line with time running out in regulation. Needed 1 to force overtime, and he missed the first, setting up the toughest make of the night on the second with a crowd roaring, and he got that one.
Strictly Chicago's strategy was to foul on as soon as they could. Once the ball got into the playing area, Vinny Johnson steps to the free throw line at the 1-point lead. I don't know if that strategy, it's a tough call. You don't quite what to do.
Davis fouls out. They have Sellers, Pippen, Corzine, Grant, and Sam Vincent in the game. Vinny buries the first. And players cross in front of him. VJ has 30 points tonight. The second one will be short. Rebound comes off to Bill Laimbeer. Outside to John Long. And John is fouled. You don't want to foul John. There's one of the finest free throw shooters of all time during his career.
He wasn't anxious to throw the ball away. He knew the situation. What a big rebound for Bill Laimbeer on the missed free throw.
VJ following his short shot helped knock it loose.
When you're on defense against the free throw, George, you've got to think miss every time, and you've got to do your job of blocking off. That's unthinkable in the pros for the shooting team to gain possession of the basketball. One more right now, it pretty much iced this ball game. Although I've seen a lot of unusual calls in this game, and you can't trust anything until the clock goes off.
John up near 94 on the year, buries them both. Did John Eddie Conley knock them down or what? 111-107 Pistons, 18 seconds to play in overtime. Timeout in Chicago. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Dunham's player of the game scored 30. It's Vinnie Johnson. He gets the gift certificate from Dunham's, the complete sports outfitter.
And the game isn't over yet. He'd get a couple more.
Vinnie Johnson really stepped up, especially after Joe Dumars fouled out. Isaiah was going early for the fight. Sellers from midcourt. Pistons by 4. 18 seconds to play in overtime. Sellers will lob to Corzine. Sellers gets it back. He will drive and finger roll. No. Rodman trying to take the charge. Will get the block. Now, folks, 15 seconds to play in overtime. It's 111-105. And Dennis Rodman fouls out. It shouldn't matter, but you never know in this league.
No, it's really not over. You know, Yogi Berra said it's not over till it's over. Who are these coaches going to play if we go into the second overtime?
They've lost a lot on both sides. This has been a classic.
Each team has one timeout left, George.
Sellers at the line. That's the first. 111-108. But he pulls Chicago to within 2 with 15 seconds to play in OT.
And then I'd look to see the Bulls foul like they did on the last possession. Hope that the Pistons miss at least one of the free throws.
Timeout.
He made them both. Chuck Daly takes timeout. We'll stay here during this timeout. We'll stay here during this timeout as Chuck Daly plots strategy against Doug Collins and the Bulls. He's had enough strategy to win 5 out of 5 so far, but it's been very... Whatever Harry says goes.
So far it has.
Timeout situation. Big fella gets him up on the screen. The Pistons are out. The Bulls have won. Chuck Daly goes with Vinny, John Long, Mark Aguirre, John Sally, and Bill Lambier. Bill looked like he had a nasty ankle turn earlier, walked it off, and isn't even limping now.
The one thing you try to do now is to get your best free throw shooters on the floor. You have to believe that the Bulls are going to call or commit a foul as soon as the ball's in play.
Mark Aguirre probably wants to get it in John Long's hands. Bill Lambier, shooter, gets it midcourt. He is two-timed and fouled with 12 seconds left.
That's all. His 6th personal foul.
6 fouls on Pippen. Jordan, Pippen, and Davis gone for Chicago. Dumars and Rodman fouled out for the Pistons. Jack Haley, the surfer from UCLA, comes in.
I would imagine that's for rebounding. As soon as they get possession, either off of a rebound or out of the net, the Bulls will use their last timeout, and I'm sure that Haley's in for the rebound strain.
Well, these Pistons have earned their money tonight. So have the Bulls.
So have you.
Doing a nice job yourself, Coach. Bill Lambier makes the first. 112-109.
Everyone but Harry, huh?
If we mention his name once more, he might get elected county commissioner or something. Yeah, you did a nice job, Harry Hutt. Second for Lambier. Yes! 113-109, Pistons by 4. Now Chicago has that one timeout to burn, and they'll burn it. We have 12 seconds to play in overtime. We will stay right here. A courageous effort. The Wings, the very best. Hope they can go up 2-1 in the series. Sellers for Chicago. Off to Sam Vincent. Vincent on the floor, down the lane with the drive shot short. Lambier boards it. It is over, folks. Haley hacks Lambier with 7 seconds to play in overtime. And Doug Collins is charging the officials again. Bill Lambier at the line. Chuck Daly telling the officials that if he ran out in the court like Doug Collins, he would get a technical. In fact, he had.
I've never seen the leeway that Doug Collins has enjoyed this evening. That's the second time that he's been out across the 10-second line, and all you get is a smile from Hugh Hollins.
He with a smile for Chuck, so he said, calm down now. It appears you've won. And he has.
It appears that he has.
Bill Lambier knocks the first one down.
No timeout, so they'll have to push the ball up, and that'll use at least 4 seconds. Unless you do something very silly, it won't happen.
Well, he missed the next. Haley boards it for Sam Vincent. Pistons by 5. 3 seconds to play in OT. Sam Vincent, top of the key, drills the triple. 1 second left, and the Pistons get it inbounds. Vinny back to Lamb, who throws it high in the air up at the scoreboard. The Pistons win the game and set a franchise record for wins in a season. It's Chuck Daly and the Pistons 114, Doug Collins and the Chicago Bulls 112 in overtime in Chicago. This is the Pistons Basketball Network.